Okay, we have recorded it. So there are a few people joining that sunshine today, but for those of you that have come, thank you so much for joining us. Really good to see you here, and we hope to inspire you. So working behind the scenes, the team, we were trying to put together a dish for that would inspire you for right now, and we thought, why not, do a Father's Day special? So we've created a bit of a menu plan that we thought would fit for a Father's Day special. So whether it be a husband, a son, we thought we'd choose some meals that they may like, and hopefully you can try them in your Thermomix too. There's a couple of recipes here that are only for a TM6, but we will talk about how you can cook some of those recipes in other machines. And we've chosen some recipes as well that you can cook in either. So that's exciting too. So we thought we'd start off with the sweets to begin with, and we are going to head over to the lovely Christine, and she's going to show us the chocolate volcano cakes. Now, these I have personally cooked myself, and they are sensational, really worth giving them a go. So I'm just going to spotlight over to Christine's kitchen, and she's patiently waiting there. So there we go. Hi, Christine.
Hi, how are we?
Excellent. So Christine's in Parkdale. Mordialloc, across the road. Yes, sorry. So the beauty of Thermomix and having a business is we can all be at home, and we can be anywhere in Victoria or even in Australia, and we can come together through Zoom and cook together and have that nice community going. So Christine, go for it.
Any longer and I would have started to eat this chocolate, swear to God. Yes, I'm going to make the chocolate volcanoes. Unlike her, I haven't actually done this myself yet. Just ran out of time to do a practice run. But on the other hand, I think that's a really good way to showcase you guys that, yes, you get a new machine and you've never used it before, but it is so easy just to follow the recipes and just have a beautiful meal or sweet come out at the end. So I've pre-selected my chocolate volcanoes in my cookie there, and we're going to start cooking. Heating up the oven at the moment to 200 degrees. It's asking me to grease my ramekins or molds. So I wasn't quite sure which one to use. So I'm actually going to do a couple of versions, and I've already pre-dusted them, and it got a bit messy, but we'll see how we go. Next, divide the cocoa, done. Excellent, set them aside, done. Right.
Now, can I just interrupt there, Chris? Is that little muffin tray that you've got, is that from the mix shop?
It certainly is.
And is that the one that also fits in your Varoma?
It certainly does.
Awesome. Okay, so there you go. So if you wanted a muffin tray that you could pop into the oven or into your Varoma, that's a really good one there. Sorry, keep going.
No, interrupt me anytime, because I'm terribly nervous, and it'll give me a chance to stop shaking and sweating.
No need to be nervous.
Well, you put these things on too early and I can't start drinking yet. Come on. 350 grams of dark chocolate broken into pieces. Oh, hit too many times. And put our lid on. We're going to grate the chocolate. So not messy by hand. Simply done, 5 seconds.
Now, when you're working with chocolate, one thing you do need to be very mindful of is no water. Okay, so if you want the perfect consistency and you don't want it to seize, when you're working with chocolate, you do need to make sure that your bowl is completely, utterly dry. Yeah, I agree, Karen. Yeah, Karen, we can have a drink. Why not?
Well, we are going to scrape down the sides. It was hand dried, and yeah, we are. Can you see that? Because my camera's backwards. Beautiful grated. Loosen all those bits up. Okay. Next, 150 grams of unsalted butter into cubes. In you go. Next, 150 grams of brown sugar. Now, I did pre-weigh everything, but purely because it's quicker for me. But the scales, every time you put a measurement in, the scales will actually go back to 0 for you, and you can actually just plop it in as you go.
And the difference between the TM5 and 31 and the 6 is the 6 is 1 gram increments. So it is super precise.
Okay, lid on. And we're just going to cook this at 60 degrees for 4 minutes.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Chris. We might swap over while you're doing that. We might swap over to Helen. So I'm just going to go to Helen, and she's going to show us the start of the pecan pie cheesecake cups.
Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Helen. I'm making, as Chris indicated, pecan pie cheesecake cups. I've already started, just to make it a little bit quicker, but I'll show you through the steps that I've already done. Start cooking. So 100 grams of pecans into the bowl. Pop the lid on. Turn the selector dial to speed 5, and it's just going to chop them up for 2 seconds. And after that time, you'll just end up with a bit of crumb. So you'll still have some bigger bits in there, but then most of it will be crumbed down. Pop that aside. And we'll use it a bit later. Sorry, I'm so nervous. Anyway, let's get going.
Today.
I've also done the next step. So 40 grams of unsalted butter into the bowl, and we're just going to soften it. So it's really softened. Insert the lid. Turn the dial for 1 minute on speed 2, and it's going to melt it at 100 degrees. So I've already done that. So next step, we're going to put in 120 grams of digestive biscuits broken into pieces. 20 grams of bourbon. Now it is optional, you don't have to put it in, or you can put in a non-alcoholic version. I'm using the real thing. 20 grams of the reserved pecans. So I'm just going to put in 20 grams of this one.
Now, you haven't made these either yet, Helen, have you?
No, I have not made these before, so this is going to be nice and interesting. They look fantastic though. And now I'm going to turn my selector dial to speed 6, and it's just going to chop that down for 3 seconds.
Now that just shows also while it's doing that, you know, having a Thermomix, not only does it cook meals for you, but you can use it just to prep stuff in your kitchen. So to grind all of that down in 3 seconds rather than doing it in a mortar and pestle and sitting there using your arms and, you know, taking all effort, it is just so easy. Yum.
What I'm going to do is transfer it into a bowl, because I'm not going to put it all into glasses all at the same time. I will do some just so that I can show you what we're doing. So I'll pop it all into a bowl. So it does say to place 1 tablespoon of the crumb into 8 glasses, so just into the base of 8 glasses. I'm just going to do 1 for you, and then we're going to pop it into the fridge until we're ready. Okay, so I'll just pop that aside. And we'll just continue on. So 80 grams of brown sugar. Another 20 grams of bourbon. $20 grams of pure maple syrup. Sorry about that. A vanilla bean paste. So I just use the Queen vanilla bean paste. I'm just going to squirt some in. 2.
And if anyone could get their hands on some vanilla beans, you can make vanilla bean paste in your Thermomix, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper than what it is at the supermarket. So, you know, I used to, when I had friends going to Bali and everything, I always say, bring me back some vanilla beans. But if you know anyone around this area that, you know, can get their hands on them, try making that in the Thermomix.
So 30 grams unsalted butter softened, 80 grams of the reserved pecans. So we'll bring this back again. And now without the measuring cup, this is the measuring cup, we'll just get it out. I'm going to cook that down 4 minutes, C2, have an aroma. C2.
Yep.
And we will head off to...
Back to Chris, I think.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Helen. And can you just show us just quickly on the screen the stylus that you're using? So for those of you that don't know, we also sell these at the mix shop, and I keep on referring to the mix shop because we've got so much stuff on there, and it really does, it just keeps on growing with the products. And as you can see, it just makes it easier for those that get a bit you know, or have big fingers. Sometimes working the Thermomix, it can be quite difficult. So if you use one of them, it's absolutely brilliant. Just remember, guys, we have a business, and part of that business and earning income from Thermomix is when you guys go to the mix shop, we do get a little bit of a thank you for you shopping at the mix shop. So when you go to the mix shop and you purchase, make sure that you choose your consultant, and that way you are supporting them as well. I'm going to head back to Chris now. Just got to find, there we go. Hello, Chris.
Hi. Okay, our chocolate has melted, so we are up to this is the kind of step that I do love. If you were doing this on the stove, it would just be super messy. So for the next 2 minutes, it's going to go through a step, but I'm going to add the eggs in gently as the progress goes. Now, to find that out, actually, the cookie dough, I read ahead, and it actually tells me, slip the eggs in through the hole until it's all combined. So... nice.
So what Chris was talking about there, so she's adding her eggs in now, but if you didn't know, when you're in the middle of a recipe, there's 3 little dots that are near your next button in the top right hand corner. You can actually press on those 3 little dots and scroll down and look ahead of what is happening in your recipe. So then you can start preparing for the next few things. So it just makes it a little bit easier. That's just all mixing in now. How long did we have on that, Chris?
Just a little over a minute.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I love your setup there.
Thanks. Could I dress it up and
nervous today? It's funny. We love doing these and swapping recipes and everything, but when we see quite a few people have joined, it's like, woo! So give us some love in the chat box. If you love us doing these and you want to see more, please let us know, because if we don't get the feedback, we don't know. And if you've got any suggestions of recipes you'd like to see, you know, let us know. Now, I do know that Chris went ahead and she actually today whipped the cream earlier, and she was doing FaceTime today and she showed me the whipped cream and it was beautiful. I just hope some of it's left, because as she's talking to me, she was licking it all off the butterfly.
Don't tell them that. I didn't give it to the kid. I'm going to share it. Okay. All right. Now, I'm actually going to take the lid off because nervous, shaky hands. Okay, 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. I've never used this before, so if you've got any other recipes that will use up my vanilla bean paste, that'd be really awesome.
Now, if you didn't have the vanilla bean, you could use vanilla essence in this instance if you wanted to for the cheaper version. But the vanilla.
Google it. I stood in Woolworths and Googled vanilla bean paste versus essence, and yeah, and I thought, well, I'm going to splurge.
Yeah,
so
it is the more superior product.
Next, 75 grams of plain flour.
Well, there you go. Bev said she loves these. So thanks, Bev.
And 20 seconds of mixing.
There you go. Easy. Okay. So whilst that's mixing, then what are we doing after that, Chris?
I'm going to pour it into the molds, and then I'll need them to cool down in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Then I'm going to pop them in the oven, and then you'll see just after I've brought them out of the oven, and we'll do the carve together.
Excellent. Okay, well, show us what it looks like there, and then we might leave you to pour them in the molds. We don't need to see that.
Can I just get a spoon and just eat it straight from here?
I bet you will off camera.
There may be a little bit of, yep, I'm going to have to take that bit off the side. All right, I'll see you in half an hour.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we're going to swap back to Helen, I think. Yep. Okay, we'll go back to Helen. There we go.
Thank you. Okay, so mine's just finished cooking, so I'll just press next. Transfer into a bowl and set aside. That's what it looks like. Oh my goodness, that's so yummy. Pop that in my bowl.
Yum. And just remember, Helen, you only live in the next street. I did share the peanut brittle with you. So, you know, just saying.
Now I understand, right? Well, this does make 8, and there's only 3 of us in the house, so I might just get some.
Woo.
Pop that aside. Next, 250 grams of 150 grams of pouring whipping cream.
Now that's the type of work I'm going to be making a type of butter today, but I'm not making the actual butter, but that's the type of cream that you use when you're making butter, guys, just so you know.
Pure maple syrup, 40 grams. A mess on my bench, and another teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. And pop the lid back on again. It's just going to mix that for 20 seconds, speed 4.
And I'll just let the consultants know too who's not looking at the chat box. So Marie said, every time I view a live Zoom, pick up so many great family tips. Even if I decide the recipe is not for me, please keep them coming. Thank you so much, Marie. Marie is one of my customers who sends me so many amazing photos of what she's cooking. And I always say, post them on my page. And no, don't want to do that. I'll just send them to you. But she's, cooking up a storm in her kitchen. So thank you, Marie. And we've also got Robin, who's commented saying that they're really fantastic, especially all the great tips, and keeps all of our morale up. So I think that's really important at the moment. And it does. This Thermomix bubble that we have, it really keeps us going whilst we've got lockdowns happening. So, yeah.
Let's just mix that up.
Oh.
So just scrape down the sides of the bowl. Now I'm going to insert my butterfly whisk. So let's see if I can show you. There are my blades. My whisk just goes in between the blades, and then it just locks in there like that.
And you can feel it. If it's not locked in properly and you pull it up, it will come straight off. But if you've locked it in properly, it will be quite hard to get off.
Next, put the lid back on again. And for 15 seconds, turn the speed selector to 3.
I can't wait to see how these turn out, especially the fact that she lives in the next street. All right.
Okay, let's have a look. Remove the butterfly wrist. So it's just whipped it up.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm just going to remove it. If you can't get it out, you just give it a bit of a wiggle. Pull it out, tap on the sides. And what to say next? Remove the glasses from the fridge. And then we're going to divide the mixture evenly between all of our glasses. So I'll just do one of them for you. Obviously. And I'm just going to scoop some out. Can you see the glass? Not quite. Just putting it into the glass. And then
Yum.
spoon over the reserved pecan mixture. So,
And is that it, Helen? Is that the whole recipe?
that is it. Yes, that is the recipe.
Imagine just whipping them up before people come over, or not at the moment, but how quick is that?
And then we're just going to spoon some of that on the top as well.
You can show us the finished product. Don't show us the finished product. Show us at the end. That looks amazing. We are now going to head over to Wendy, and Wendy's going to show us the peanut brittle, which I did make myself last night, and I dropped some off to Helen this morning, but it is absolutely beautiful. So I really look forward to seeing this cooked. So we'll head over to Wendy. There she is. And she's going to show us how to use high heat sugar mode.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us and spending some time away from that beautiful sunshine. And so as Kirsten said, we're going to do peanut brittle today. So please forgive me because it's really yummy. I made some yesterday and I had to give it away because I just kept snacking on it. And so here we go. So it's a high heat mode. Just pressing start. Now it does say a little tip. To guarantee the success of this recipe with the sugar stage mode, the ingredients must match the exact weight. So sometimes we do get a little bit carefree with our measurements, but for this particular recipe, we have to be exact, which is great with the scale. So I have pre-measured everything today just to speed up the process and just make sure that those measurements were 100% correct. So I line a baking tin with baking paper, which was the first step, and that's just going to be to put over the unsalted nuts. So I've already weighed them out, and we're just going to pop them on the baking tray, which you don't need to see at the minute, and set 3 to 4 tablespoons of mixed seeds if you wanted to. So you can variate the topping or the ingredient that you want to put in with your brittle. So you can use anything like sesame seeds or a different type of nut. Flake coconut would be nice, dried strawberries, different variations that you can do. So we're going to have 250 grams of the demerara sugar, which is a slightly darker brown sugar that you can purchase from Woolies or Coles or the local IGA. We're just going to place that into the bowl. Click next. And it's asking for 1 piece of 30 grams of unsalted butter. That's cold. And it gives approx measurements of 40 millimeters by 10 millimeters. Trying to read upside down. So that's just 1 block. 70 grams of water. Just pre-measured out. and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, which carefully squeezed into the cup. Now we're going to put on the lid, and the recipe asks that you put on the splash guard for this recipe, and done. Now it's 22 minutes at maximum heat and it's on sugar mode, and it's going to caramelize, and I'll see you when we have the product.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Wendy. Just for those of you that are questioning the sugar, if you haven't heard of that before, as Wendy said, it is in any of your supermarkets. There you go. If you don't have that in your pantry, like myself last night, I wanted to try this. I used brown sugar and that worked perfectly. It was still just as yummy. So if you don't have that and you want to make it, we'll try it this afternoon, and you have peanuts and sugar, then by all means, give that recipe a go. We're now going to head over to the lovely Michelle, who is in Inverloch, and she's going to show us the sunny side up egg. So this could be a Father's Day thing that you could do in the morning.
Excellent. Happy Sunday, everyone. Thanks for joining us. So yes, who doesn't love eggs? They are amazing, and they can be made in so many ways in the Thermomix. But today I'm going to show you how to make a sunny side up by steaming your eggs in your varoma. Now, one of the ways in which we can do this is in the top of your varoma tray, like this. You can add baking paper. Just make sure that it's 2 centimeters above the rim of the tray, and grease that. Or you can use what I'm going to do today, and it is a stainless steel tray that you can purchase from the mix shop, and it's only $14.95. You can use it for salmon and many other things, but I'm going to do the eggs in there today. So it's really easy to get cracking. I've boiled the kettle today. There's been lots of options as to whether you need a kettle in your kitchen today, because we do have a kettle mode on the TM6, which can boil your water, but just to save time today, I've actually just boiled it. We're going to add 400 grams to the bowl. Actually done a little bit too much. And then we're going, I'll just skip that step where it says to boil the water, which would take about 5 minutes. And then we're going to put on the varoma. So all we're going to do is actually crack the eggs into the tray.
Michelle, do you need to put, sorry, I don't know if you just did it, then I didn't see. Do you need to put oil on your tray at all, or?
Yes, actually, I tried it this morning when I was testing it by using butter, but I did feel that the eggs did stick a little bit. So what I've done this time is just oiled it with a little bit of olive oil.
Perfect.
And hopefully they won't. Now, this little tray can hold 6 eggs. And they do say that it takes 6 minutes to steam 6 eggs in your varoma. I do like my eggs cooked a little bit more than that, but we're going to try for 6 minutes, and I'm only cooking 2 for the sake of demonstration today. Pop the lid on, and that will cook for 6 minutes, and I'll check it at that time. And that literally goes on speed 1 at 70 degrees. And that's it for now.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Michelle. I think we are heading over to myself. Thank you. I'm just going to turn my camera around to this Thermomix so you can see. I'm going to cook hollandaise sauce for you. So this is where we're using the thicken mode, which is in the TM6, and it just makes beautiful sauces, gravies, bechamel sauce, those sorts of things. Now, you will find that a lot of cafes, restaurants, those sorts of places do have the Thermomix purely for the hollandaise sauce. It is guaranteed not to split, and it just makes life so easy. I don't know if you tried it on the stove top. If you have, you probably have only done it a couple of times and had some hit and misses. Whereas cooking it in your Thermomix, it is as easy as putting the ingredients in, pressing the button, and walking away. So I will show you how to do that. So we've got it here. So we're going to go start cooking. And we just want 10 grams of water. So we'll pop that in. I'll set my scales back to 0, popping that in. And then we're going to do 10 to 20 grams of lemon juice, which I forgot over here. So we'll pop in. So this is really up to you on taste of how much lemon you want in there. So I'm going to sort of do in between. I'll do that. So it says 10 to 20. I've done 13. There we go. Unsalted butter cut into pieces. So I've just really roughly cut mine. I've also put the salt and pepper on the top so I don't have to add it in a minute. So just pop that through, 150 grams. Hit next, and 4 egg yolks, which is what we've got in there. So let us know in the chat box if you've made this before and if you've been really happy with the consistency. It does have, if you go down, I'll just show you, we'll go into the 3 little dots and you go into recipe detail. If you scroll all the way down, the hints and tricks, so your tips here, also give you variations of the amount. So this is just a smaller sizing, but you can up it. So you can put in 6 egg yolks and it tells you how to double your sauce there. So that's really handy as well. But we'll go continue. So we've put in our egg yolks, we've put in our salt, we've put in our pepper, put the lid on, hit next. It's going to go, it's going to cook it at 80 degrees, but we just turn the dial. It does all the work for us. Oop. You put your bowl in correctly, it's told me. It's such a user-friendly machine that if you're not doing something right, often it will say, hey, and it's told me there I didn't have it in position. So now we can turn the dial and it will cook approximately 10 minutes. Whilst that's cooking, I'm going to show you how to make the butter, which I reckon a lot of dads out there for Father's Day would absolutely love this poured over their steak. It's very fancy, lots of flavours. So I'll just switch you around. And here we are. Now, all these ingredients are just absolutely beautiful. Now, as I said, I'm not making the butter today. I've already purchased my butter, but by all means, you can make the butter from scratch and then continue with the recipe. Making your own butter, it's just absolutely beautiful. Depending on how many washes you do is how fresh it will stay and how long it will stay. Making your own butter doesn't last as long as purchased butter, but what I do is I sort of make it in a log, cut it up, which you'll see today. This is a flavoured one, however, and then pull it out as I need it. So just chop it off in discs. But we'll go into our Thermomix, into my week. So I have all of the ingredients here today. All of the recipes here today that we're cooking, as you can see there. But we are going to, so this recipe is called grilled eye fillet with Café de Paris butter. Now I will show you quickly when I share my screen a bit further on, if we have time, I'll show you, but they've just brought out a new collection and the new collection is all around butter and some of the recipes in there are amazing. So they've got like a maple syrup butter that you can pop on your pancakes. They've got, I don't know, they've got a heap. I can't think of them off the top of my head. So they've got savoury options and sweet options. So have a look at the new collection in Cookadoo. It is beautiful. So we'll hit start and we're going to pop in 1 teaspoon or thereabouts. I love pickled capers. So I've got a bit there. So we'll pop them in. I've never made this dish before either, this particular one. But as we said earlier on, that's the beauty of the Thermomix. You know, you can give everything a go because most of the time it will work out regardless. So we've got some beautiful parsley there we're popping in. Some fresh dill. Now, I don't have fresh dill, so I'm just using dried. That's okay too. 1, or in this house 2. I think you all know by now if you've been watching a few of these, I always add more garlic. and some anchovy fillets. Now, I have to say, I hate anchovies. I don't even like touching them. My husband loves them on pizza. Sometimes I wear gloves if I'm wearing them. Bit of a sook, aren't I? But in these particular dishes, it just adds a beautiful flavour. So even if you don't like anchovies, you're not going to have that anchovy taste come through. It just adds a saltiness to your dish. So I'm going to put these in because they give great flavour. Pop them in without touching them. And some lemon zest, about half a teaspoon. And pop the lid on, hit next. And we're going to mix 3 seconds. I'll just show you what that looks like. And I can already smell those flavors coming through. But look at that, 3 seconds, guys. Now you couldn't even get your garlic mincer out, put the garlic cloves in there and mince it in that time. Absolutely beautiful. So we'll scrape that down. Pop it back in. And now we're going to put in our softened butter. We want 130 grams here. So pop that in. Hit next. And the tomato sauce, just 1 tablespoon. Making your condiments as well, coming up to Christmas. I can't believe I'm saying that. But, you know, it will be here before we know it. You can make all of your tomato sauces, your Worcestershire sauce, your barbecue sauce. I think especially in these times as well, people receiving homemade gifts like that is a really nice thought and a really nice gift. So have a look because there's all those sorts of things that you can make. So I'll pop that in. We've got Dijon mustard, just 1 teaspoon. Can you imagine the flavors that you're seeing, all those flavors going on top of your steak? Now it says 1 teaspoon of brandy. I don't have brandy, we're wine drinkers here. And Madeira, did I pronounce that right? I don't know. I don't have that either. So I'm just skipping those 2. And the Worcestershire sauce. So just about half a teaspoon or a little bit more if you like it. Okay, now for our spices. So we're doing just little amounts because we don't want to overpower it because it is a butter on top of our steak. But we're doing 1/4 teaspoon of sweet paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of curry powder. Now I use Babas curry powder. I absolutely love it and swear by it, but use the curry powder that you've got. And 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. And I've also popped some salt in there as well. So that all goes in. And we want 2 teaspoons of the lemon juice, which are over here. So we'll pop, there we go. I can't wait to have this one. I think it will be absolutely sensational. So pop the lid on. And that's going to mix for 15 seconds. Okay, so scrape down the sides. Though, you know, do you really need to? In this case, I don't think you do, but look at that. I should, shouldn't I? I'm showing you how to do it right. I don't. I never do. Okay. Right, we've scraped it down like a good person following the recipe. And now all we do, and I'll bring you over here so you can see. Now you will need to, it will be a bit of a soft consistency, but just turn your bowl upside down and give it a little twist like so. That will help all the butter drop out. Same as if you hang on, children, I just need to let them know I'm doing a cooking class. I love everyone. Don't you love kids? I do love my kids. And now I've got my husband in the background being silly. Okay, so we've got this here and we're going to roll it up. This could get really interesting with them all just, yeah, anyway. And we're just going to roll it. See, the beauty of working from home. I'm sure you're all feeling the same. Okay, so I've rolled that. We'll just turn that off. There we go. Nice little log. And then quickly wash my hands. And then you're just going to roll it up. And you can either freeze this if you want to freeze it, or just to get it a bit harder again, pop it into the fridge for at least 20 minutes before you're going to use it. And then all you need to do, guys, is just slice it into discs. And I'm not going to show you how to grill a steak. We do ours on the barbecue, but how good is that? And you just cut it off, and those flavors, so it will melt onto your steak and create a beautiful buttery, very salty style sauce. So that is absolutely delicious. Now I'm just going to check back with the team and see where they're at. Let's have a look. Wendy, can we come back to, who are we going back to? Let me have a look.
Going back to Wendy.
Yeah, is she ready?
Not yet. It's still got 7.5 minutes left.
Excellent. Okay, so what we will do is I'm going to show you. So come back to me, Helen.
Yep.
Thank you. What a team. They're so onto it, aren't they? Very organised. Okay, so we've got our hollandaise sauce here, which I've just made. And you could hear in the recipe how it changes, and it's not just mixing it, it actually sort of changes speed. And oh my goodness, look at this, guys. Now, I don't have eggs to pour this on, but when we were thinking of recipes, so Michelle in Inverloch has actually done the egg sunny side up, but you could do this as well. And then you've got this. I'm going to pour it onto a plate so you can see the consistency of it, but it is absolute restaurant quality. So if we have a look. Thank you. Did you hear my daughter then? That looks very good. Delicious. So there we go. How's that? And it smells so yummy. So I don't know about you, but I would absolutely love that served on my eggs, or maybe some asparagus like they had on the recipe. You could serve it over anything, but it is a really beautiful sauce to make. So there we go. Whilst we've got a few more minutes up our sleeve, what I'm going to do is bring you to, now Helen, if you could swap over to my other, if you can find it, my other screen.
I can, but I can't switch it. Oh, there you go. Yep.
There you go. Yep. Okay. And I'm going to just show you something. So I'll do share screen, and we're going to go into cookie dough. I'm quite surprised that I find there's quite a few people out there that still aren't using cookadoo. Now, can we just confirm that you can see my cookadoo?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Okay. So when I was talking before about the new collections that have come up, so I'm just going to go into my week. Now, this is what we're cooking today and some of what you've seen. But if we have a look at, we've got golden syrup butter. We've got honeycomb butter. So these are all made in a similar way than what you've seen today. So really beautiful. Then we've got nut and seed butter. Yum. So for those of you that are allergic to peanuts or have someone in your house that's allergic to peanuts, you could be making the nut and seed butter. So they can still have that beautiful butter with celery or, you know, on toast, and it doesn't have to have the peanuts in it. We've also got the vegan butter. So for those that are interested in vegan style recipes, there you go. Thermomix covers everything. So have a look, and look at this one, jalapeno honey butter. Yum. But my husband just yelled out, I'll have that. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. We've got another recipe. Now, Wendy cooked this during the week. Once again, consultants always get together behind the scenes. We discuss what we've been cooking. It's like a little cooking group, I guess. And she made this during the week, the Balinese prawn curry. I'm going to be trying that on Monday, but I'm going to swap the ingredients and swap it over for chicken rather than prawn. Can't wait to try that. But what was I going to show you? I've totally lost my train of thought. I'm going to go into explore, and I've just got to move that. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you because I've still got people asking questions. So I think the more times I show this, the better. On your computer, not in the app, on your phone and not on your Thermomix. If you want to see more recipes come up, need to go into your profile. Go here, so view profile. When you purchase a Thermomix, it will default straight away to Australia. So you will only be looking at Australian recipes. But if you want to broaden that, you can go. So I've sort of done the cooking style. I've done that. I want chefy recipes to come up. But when I'm talking about the countries, so see down here, you obviously want it to be English, or in most cases here, you'd want it to be English language. But here we're country or region. So this is where you're going to get your recipes from. So yours would say Australia, but you can actually update your filter and add all the English speaking countries. So here you see I've got United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. So to get all of those, that means every time you ask for a recipe, so say you put in a search for chicken, it means that it will search through Cookadoo United States, Cookadoo United Kingdom, and it will bring up all of those recipes. So it just makes, you get a heap more recipes filtering through. So you just click on update filter, scroll down, and then here, country or region. So you can see I've got all 4 ticked. You could bring up other countries or regions if you wanted to as well, and then use your Google to, if you've got Google Chrome on your computer, it will straight away convert it to English. So if you wanted to bring up, say, Mexican dishes and things like that. So that is the beauty of Cookadoo. Absolutely love it. But if you save that permanently, that means you don't have to keep on opening up your filters every single time. So that is awesome. What I wanted to also talk about, I'll just stop sharing. Helen, could you swap it back to my other camera, please?
Yeah.
She's probably madly trying to find me. There we go. For those of you that are thinking that you wouldn't mind becoming a consultant, doing what we do, working from home, becoming part of this awesome community, anyone that comes on board, your benefit, you're making it awesome for your consultant. We want to make this group bigger. We want more experience. Maybe there's hairdressers or someone out there that doesn't have much income at the moment. Why not do this whilst you're waiting for things to open up again? Could be possible. And right now, until the 25th, the half price business kit. So if that's something that interests you, ask your consultant or hang around at the end and we can talk more about it. But there is a business kit which is $340 worth of stuff that you get for $62.50. It's a thermoserve, a bread mat, can't think off the top of my head right now. You get your apron, you get your starter kit, and self-growth. I think that's a really important thing. That's what I love about Thermomix. I never used to want to stand up in front of people, or at the moment stand in front of a camera. But there is so much training that they offer for free once you join up as a consultant, and it's just about self-growth. Really, it's if I can speak properly, really, really good. So if you're thinking about it, guys, now is the time. So that will go back up to 135 on the 25th of the month. Anyway, let's see. Is Wendy still going?
Heike, it's just finished, so I've got to immediately pour.
Yes, let's go straight over. Perfect. Thanks, Helen.
I'm showing you quickly.
So what she's doing at the moment is just pouring it. So she's laid all of the peanuts out onto a tray, and she has to act quickly because it is toffee and it will harden straight away. So she's just poured it all over the peanuts, and she's going to show us in a second what that looks like. And then I did this recipe last night, and the pre-clean wowed me because I could even see, if you leave the country blank, do you get all English speaking recipes? No, you don't. So you do have to, Debbie, you do have to select your countries. So you have to select a country for it to filter through to. But yeah, so no worries. I've lost my train of thought again.
Okay.
I'm talking that a lot today. Oh, look at that.
There we go. Now, the reason with the lemon juice, it just asked for the lemon juice to be added in. I forgot to mention it before, just to help with that it doesn't burn or crystallize or change the flavour. That's why the lemon juice was in, but you actually can't taste it once the toffee's cooked. This is the one I prepared earlier. See if you can hear the crunch.
Oh,
delicious. Whoops.
Yeah,
really
that
nice.
Is amazing. It is, seriously, guys, try that recipe. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, the next part of this recipe, it actually shows you how to clean, doesn't it? And it's fantastic.
Yes. So I'm going to add 50 grams of vinegar. I'm just using white vinegar. A 1,000 grams of water. Again, I pre-measured all these before we started. And we're just going to insert the measuring cup back onto the lid. And I'll turn that on. Now, just before I do turn it back on, just to let you know, the brittle will keep for up to a week in an airtight container. And it'll probably make about 30 pieces, depending on how large or small you want those, obviously. And click next, and it's going to clean this. And I did this yesterday, and the bowl came out sparkling. So what did I do there? Best thing about Cookadoo is you can always go back once you've missed a step and you've gone too quickly. So let me just go back to the pre-clean. Done it again. There we go.
That's okay.
There we go.
So it's going to start washing. And I have to say that this is one step you do not want to miss, because we're working with toffee and you don't want it to go all hard on your bowl. So get onto that one straight away. But it's amazing what a difference it makes by doing this pre-clean. It is sparkling once you've finished. So it's awesome. I'm just going to check in with Christine and see where she's at. Chris. Oh, she's got them out of the oven. And she's on mute, I think. You're on mute, Chris. Okay, well, I'm happy to talk for her.
Go.
Oh, there we go.
So I was kind of hoping to sneak this by before you swung back to me.
Okay, that's okay. I can show. Oh, look at that.
So it may be a little bit darker than I would like, purely based on, might have been a bit quite heavy-handed with the cocoa. Do we do a scoop of cream on the side before I cut into it? Or just cut in?
Show us your cream that you, no, just cut into it. We want to see that oozing out.
No, the cream is not touched, by the way. Yum. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay, little guy. Come on.
Now, this is live TV, guys. So we have our fingers crossed that it is going to, oh, look at that.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Okay, now I can drink.
Yeah, that is how you make a chocolate volcano. Put it straight up to the camera so you can see. That is just absolutely sensational.
The kids are happy.
Did you hear my daughter in the background then? Mum, can you please make that? Well done. That is awesome. Thanks,
I'm going to
Chris.
check out one of the little ones and see how that turned out.
Excellent. Let us know actually how the little one goes because exactly. Why wait until Father's Day? I think a lot of people that are watching this now will be making these way before Father's Day.
Oh, definitely. My only concern with this was don't fill them all up because I've used them all and now I don't have handles.
Good point.
Got to turn them all over at once.
Yep. Now, can I ask a question? So you put the ramekins in and you put the muffin trays in. Did you keep them both in the oven for the same amount of time?
Yep. So
Okay.
So I had to do the ramekins a little bit longer.
Yep. No worries.
Yep.
And for those of you that are wanting to make this is definitely a dish, I know because I've made it a few times, that you want to serve it straight away because what will happen is that inside part of the cake or whatever you call it, it's a cake, it will keep on cooking. So if you were to have it just sitting there on the bench, it would eventually become like a cupcake, I guess, or a muffin. So make sure that you do serve them. Look at this. She said she's never done it before.
Okay, I'm going to transfer one to a little plate. The kids are having this for dinner, you realise.
Best mum ever.
Don't look at the bottom. Okay. Volcano.
So it even works with the little ones.
Yep. So,
but I think I'd choose the big one. Well done, Chris. Thank you so much for presenting that. I know you said you were nervous, but you did an amazing job. And wow, dish of the day. That is just superb. Now, who are we going to cross over to? I think Michelle. Yep. Okay. We're going to cross over to, there we go. Whoop. Hang on. There we go.
So the result of the egg is kind of a mix between a fried and a poached egg. You don't have to use a pan. The eggs can be cooking away while you're doing other things in the kitchen, and it looks absolutely good. So I've just popped them both on the plate. I did season them with salt, pepper, and some Cajun. And
beautiful.
For 6 minutes. They've been sitting on the plate for quite a while, but they are still quite soft and runny.
Oh, I love that. And you know what? I love these eggs. The reason being, we have a lot of customers that say they don't like that with fried eggs, the brown on the bottom. So if you don't want browning on the bottom, these are the type of eggs that you want to make. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, guys.
I'm going to swap over to Helen if she's ready, and she's going to present.
Yes.
Yep. Excellent. There we go.
So here are my cheesecake cups. Now my glasses are a little bit bigger than they say to use, but I love these glasses. So I've got the crumb in the bottom, the cheesecake in the middle, and then the pecan mixture on the top. And that is all there is to it.
They look, I'm so impressed with these dishes today. They have all been really awesome. Well done, Helen. Thank you. I'm going to cross myself over. Hang on. Let me just see if I can. Which one am I doing? This one. Okay. Here we go. What I haven't shown you today is the slow cooked ribs, which I was doing. Now, I'm just showing you the final part of this dish of what it actually looks like. So this particular dish is it cooks for a certain amount of time, but you could do it in a TM5 as well because of the particular one. It hasn't got the slow cooked part of it. However, there are a lot of slow cooked things that you can make in your TM6. But look at this, guys. I'll show you. So I've had these cooking today. So these are the actual ribs themselves, which, hang on, I'll bring this down so you can see. But you cook it in the sauce, and you cook it for it's about 2.5 hours. So if you've got a TM5, you would just keep on changing the time. But then it's got this beautiful sauce that you do with it. So I'm going to pour this on them, and it's a barbecued paprika sauce. And then I would personally serve this with mash. But here we go. And we might put a little bit of greenery on it just to make it look pretty. Spring onions, I think, would be the go. But this meat is falling off the bone. And I just had that on the slow cooking as we're going. So look at that. Yum. Thank you for coming today. I hope you have learnt heaps. If you'd like to speak to us at the end, suggestions, joining our team, anything, purchasing a Thermomix, upgrading, feel free. I hope you've loved it, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.